happens is what happens. Were you always able to make your own decisions, or did it take a while to get to that point?
Yeah, that's a good question about that period where you realize you can think about it and find all the reasons to do it and the same number of reasons not to do it. It's basically it's the Hamlet question, as Shakespeare would have it, to be or not to be, to act or not to act. And because he's living in the eclipse, there's so many sides to that. Someone who is not making his own decisions but living according, he's like the shadow to the legendary cowboy. And Lefty is always in his own life has been not had to come up with the answer. He could present both sides, but he didn't have to decide. And so now at 60, in his 60s, here he is having to decide for himself. A little late, but he has a last chance to do it.
Yeah, and so he also discovers more about himself very late in life. Is there something you discovered about yourself later in sooner that you were surprised about?
Yeah, I guess there's I think that's why I am interested in film and characters, is that I think my interest in movies was never to be the generic hero. I just never really identified with that. I'm always admiring actors who can present that certainty and everything, and I think I have always, maybe by my own chemistry, have been the question asker, the uncertain one, and even in something like Lost Highway by David Lynch, someone who doesn't know what he is capable of and doesn't know what he's done even. And so this side of Lefty Brown is an interesting side. There's somewhat of the feminine side, someone who has traditionally been kept from finding their own voice in certain relationships, that can happen, and between a male and female. And there's a side of Lefty Brown that is sensitive, aware, and still he has to act, and he has to be forceful and committed.
And there's a scene at the very beginning where he meets Jeremiah for the first time, and at first he goes like he doesn't want him to go with him, and then he changes his opinion, and then he goes like, "Come with me."
Yes.
Do you remember anything like that where you wanted to do something, where you first don't wanted to do something, and then you change your mind and you did it anyway?
Well, I think with Jeremiah, it's the question is Lefty has chosen to go on his way, and he can't barely have enough confidence that he can take care of himself, let alone another person. And he senses that he's never really had to have a sidekick or to take care of someone like he's been taken care of. So he doesn't know that relationship. So the instinct is, you're on your own, kid, like I'm on my own. And then something in him makes an adjustment to say, I think I can do this, I can take care of this guy for a little while.
There's also a scene anytime when people get hung, people are watching, they're shocked about what they see, but they're still watching. And these days, people, when something terrible happens, people watch with phones. Do you believe we've got more rubbernecks these days than in the past, or do you just think the way has changed how some people stare at things?
Yeah, I think the catastrophe is compelling. And when you see something happening that is catastrophic, it's very difficult to not look at it. I think there's some sense of motivation that, you want in a hanging situation, like in the West, where you are showing up because you believe in the righteousness of the action. And I think what Jared's comment on it in the conversation that Lefty has is that, right now these people are righteous about your death, that the governor who's going to be hanged, and in a week they could be looking at me up here and feeling equally as righteous about them hanging me. And I think that's the comment, that this mob really doesn't have principles.
And can you say something about where you shot the movie and if you would recommend the place?
Yes, well, we shot the movie in Montana, in particular the southwest part of Montana. It's probably an hour and a half away from Yellowstone Park, the edge of Yellowstone Park anyway. And this is an area that I've had a ranch with my brother for 25 years, and I love it a lot. And the chance to shoot a movie there, I think when people see the Ballad of Lefty Brown, they realize that the landscape is almost like another character in the story, and it's a pretty good landscape.
Great, awesome, nice to hear.
Yes.
Since you are a well-experienced actor, I was wondering, since many young actors want to try to make it to become an actor, what would be your advice for a young actor, and what do you think how important it is not to give up even if they have rejection from the beginning?
Well, this past year or two has been very much a question about what I think I should tell a young actor, because my son, who's 22, has been working at being an actor, and he has invited me to work on some audition pieces with him, and asked me advice about different business things connected to opportunities. And I guess, I really appreciate that he's invited my perspective, but I don't fear that he's listening too closely, because I think in some ways, I think I don't feel like I can throw him off his game by saying things to him. He has his own conviction inside it that allows him to be listening to different ideas and then make decisions for himself. And I realized, boy, that's something, I don't know if I was quite that centered when I was his age, 22. And it's a good quality to have as a young actor, I think.